The show 14 minutes away from 1 o'clock on a snowy, depending on where you are, a snowy Thursday afternoon, at least here in the Kanawha Valley. West Virginia's on the rise. New businesses, new opportunities, and a strong, resilient workforce leading the way. Check out the full story, wvnrich.com. Video presentation sponsored by Huntington Bank, proud to be investing in the future of West Virginia.
All right, we talked to a Republican. Now we want to talk to a Democrat about their reaction to last night's State of the State address by West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey. And we're joined by Delegate Shawn Fluharty, a Democrat from Ohio County. Didn't get much sleep last night. I don't think anybody did who was at the Capitol. Delegate, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What did you hear that you liked in that speech?
Well, I like the fact that he wants to invest in higher education, and he made some proposals for that. But there wasn't a whole lot to like. I thought it was low energy and low expectations and little promises and certainly no policy. And I thought that was a bit surprising. It kind of felt like, remember Jeb Bush when he said, please clap when he was running for president? Kind of felt like that last night. I didn't hear any solutions to the problems that West Virginians are facing currently. Nothing about utilities skyrocketing. Nothing really about bringing our young people back home to West Virginia or making sure we keep our best and brightest here. The only thing that I really can say that I like to hear that I heard was about the higher education funding that he wants to increase. And, he wants some pay raises for public employees, but that doesn't even account nearly for what the inflation has been in the last few years, this pittance of a pay raise. So, there wasn't a whole lot to walk away from. Very happy about.
Last night on Tonight Live, you and I had the chance to do an interview, and we talked about Rayleigh's Law, which is something that you've tried to pass over the last couple of sessions. Basically, it would create some more guardrails for homeschooling situations. There is another incident out of Taylor County right now where a woman is in custody, a stepmother, for allegedly allowing her stepdaughter to be malnourished to the point of death. At this time, I don't know any specifics about her schooling status, but we do know that she was 11 years old, weighed 43 pounds, and the criminal complaint goes on to say that she had not had medical treatment since around 2020. Does that reignite the fire in you when it comes to Rayleigh's Law and perhaps not hearing anything about that last night?
It absolutely does. Just last week, the governor had a press conference about child welfare in this state, and he was asked a question about Rayleigh Browning and Rayleigh's Law, which has been pending now for a number of years. As you recall, Rayleigh Browning was killed after being taken out of a public school and put in a home school by her abusive father. The three individuals have been held accountable, and since that time of this incident, the legislation has been pending, and those who are responsible have been sentenced. And the judge himself at the sentencing said the state needs to do something about this child abuse loophole. It's exactly what it is. It protects child abusers. And sadly, the news coming out of Grafton is eerily similar to the factual basis for Rayleigh's Law. And, it's just a horrible tragedy. And, those are the things that the governor should be talking about. I didn't hear her name last night, and he said he didn't even know about the law, despite the fact it passed the House on 2 occasions, and he oversees the government. So maybe he should be paying more attention to what's going on. But yes, Rayleigh's Law is just a fundamental protection for children, and a loophole needs closed, and it's just damn time we do it.
Delegate Fluharty, it's Dave Allen. Thank you for joining us on the show today. You're one of your counterparts, Shawn Hornbuckle, Delegate to Hornbuckle House Minority Leader, said in a cut that we played this morning, an interview last night at the Capitol, and let's go back to utility rates, which is something you talked about. He when he was talking about the things that he was disappointed he didn't hear, utility rates was one of them. What would you have liked to have heard the governor say about utility rates last night?
Well, the Democrats, we went on the kitchen table tour, and we heard from West Virginians throughout the state, and this was a top-of-the-line issue. And we didn't hear anything about ringing in the PSC. We didn't hear anything about freezing rates, things that can be done statutorily, which has been done in the past in West Virginia, given the circumstances surrounding the skyrocketing utilities that we have now. And also nothing about the junk fees, which Democrats have introduced legislation on that could help literally dollar by dollar try to bring down utility costs. So it was something that you would think, if you actually listen to West Virginians, we would hear for a State of the State address, but it was a lot of the same stuff. I mean, we heard he was very proud about being able to say he passed legislation last session to define a man and a woman. Well, congratulations, but we're defining incompetence at this point in the state of West Virginia when it comes to our government. And I think people are finally fed up truly. They're paying more attention, and they're wondering why we're having culture wars after culture war in Charleston instead of actually getting things done. You can't pay the bills with culture wars, and that's all we hear about for 60 days. And I'm sure we're going to hear it again. I mean, how many times did he say woke last night?
One of the things that he talked about, and there was a bipartisan spirit about in my conversations yesterday, was about bringing young people to West Virginia. I would consider you among the young people in West Virginia. What are you doing?
Thank you for that.
You're
Yeah,
welcome. What are you doing to help create more friends for yourself, more peers?
Well, look, young people work more remotely now than ever, and they want to live somewhere that they feel welcome and that they have a high quality of life, and they want to be proud of it. And that's things we needed to be doing to attract young people, is making them feel welcome and be part of the solution in West Virginia, not part of the problem. And I can tell you the culture war nonsense that we hear about in the legislature day in and day out is not something that's bringing our best and brightest here, or keeping our best and brightest here and bringing those into West Virginia. And certainly we didn't hear anything last night that was unifying in that sound. It's just more of this, oh, we're going to, if we build it, they will come. Well, they're not coming because they don't feel welcome. They don't feel like the quality of life issues that really bring young people to states like West Virginia are not occurring in the legislature right now.
I just checked you had a birthday like 10 days ago. Happy belated birthday.
I'm pretty old now. I'm at over 40 club.
Easy now, Fluharty. Okay.
You also had a chance to talk with President Benson last night. What kinds of things are you interested in working when it comes to higher education? Because I know that the governor also last night proposed more money for higher education.
Yes, it was great to get a few words with President Benson. I think WVU has a bright future under his tenure. And what we passed 2 years ago, Roger Hanshaw and I put together legislation that created a gaming center under the business school at Western University, which is essentially, if you look at the technology that's moving forward in the state right now through iGaming and sports betting and things of that nature, we're going to essentially be graduating students from West Virginia University that are going out to this new technological field in the gaming space. And I was talking about that with President Benson, and he was very proud of the work that we've done to get that accomplished. And it's one of the few bright spots we've had in the legislature the last couple of years, and I got to give a nod to Roger Hanshaw for working with me on that legislation. And we just talked about what we could do to increase funding into that center and in getting more students involved and trying to just expand the scope of what Western University could be. With this evolving technology, it's an opportunity for Western University to be a beacon in that area.
Delegate Shawn Fluharty, appreciate you being here. Enjoy the rest of the session. I'm sure we'll be talking plenty of times. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good day.
You as well. It's 12:54.